Okay, welcome everybody. Got the mic working. We are live. I have the doctors here. We're going to be talking about a few different topics. Let me say hello before we get into the information about quantum today. We're going to talk about some of the history of quantum, where it comes from, and how does it apply? Can it apply directly to you? And I don't know about you, but there's a quote that I came across many years ago, is that health is the first wealth. And so that really stimulates me to move forward and continue to find solutions for myself, but also in my world, in my profession, I help people find solutions for themselves and I guide them along the way. And this is pretty much what all the doctors here are doing. Welcome, Dr. George, Dr. Sasha, Dr. Vesna. Thank you for tuning in.
Hello.
Hello. So Vesna just popped on. We had some previous conversation going on, which is very enjoyable, and let me spread that out a little bit. And we're talking about Max Planck. This is the gentleman who discovered quantum theory, and I came to find out that, of course, like anything that's being discovered or realized, or new products or anything that's happening today, it's built on the foundation of others before them. And Max Planck gets all the credit when it comes to understanding quantum and discovering quantum and getting the Nobel Prize in quantum theory. I watched I was watching an intriguing brief video, and I'm going to post that in the Synergy Solutions group. I'm going to post this video. It's about 12 minutes long, but I have a 6-second clip I'm going to share, and talks about how organizing our body is important, and how that cannot be influenced by just by internal means only. But I'll hold that off for a second. Quantum, Dr. George, we were talking about that before. I mentioned the term pockets of information, because that's something I heard. Say that again, George.
Packets of information.
Packets, and that's it, right? And I'm gonna show this image to everyone at home, and let me give the doctors a view as well, so that we're all on the same page. Excuse the views, everybody. And here it is. So you may have seen this before, but this is the flow of information. So let's talk about real life, everyday terms. We want to move, we want to sleep, we want to go to work, we want to play. We call that function. We want to pick up our children, we want to shoot the basketball. Whatever's going on, this is function of life. And you can see how it all connects. We have function goes to structure. So that means how your bones and muscles and ligaments are aligned and working. And then we have our chemistry. I mean, that's everything you've ever heard about with hormones in the body and all kinds of factors, nutrients, neuroendocrine, any term that you could use when it comes to the chemistry of life. This is what we're talking about: vitamins, minerals, nutrients. And then we have, and the conversation is getting pretty hot out there, depending on how far down the rabbit hole you are, but electromagnetic fields. That has to do with our cell phones, our Wi-Fi, communication. And communication, of course, is changing in all kinds of ways now. And greater ways, and more profound ways. And here we're on Zoom, and just like just about everybody else in the world. And then we're getting into, you can see the arrow goes to and I'll move this little window there so make sure everybody can see, is subtle energy fields. This is, maybe you've heard the term chakra or aura or biofield, or everyday examples are mother's intuition, synchronicity. You call your friend, you think about a friend and they call you at that moment, stuff like that. And then we have this idea of intention and then information. And so what we're talking about quantum is this informational level. And intention is the why behind what we do. And there's lots of interesting, and I cite Lynn McTaggart, and there's lots of other people that are studying intention. And we've talked about it here on the program over the months. And there's a line of connection. And so there's influence from how we work as a human being, function, to this information level, this intention level, from the subtle energy fields level, and so on. And so I want to play this little clip here, and we'll have a mini discussion about it, and then we'll go into talking about our intention for today as far as what we're helping align and heal and be a part of. So with that being said, let me play this clip. We're going to pop on and make sure the volume's up. I'm not going to play the video because that gets us dinged on social media world these days. So I'm just going to play the audio clip. It's a few seconds long. It's for educational purposes. So I'll say that going forward. Here we are.
See, Planck had gotten his PhD at age 19 in the second law of thermodynamics. The second law can be written in many, many, many forms, but the basic idea is things can't become more ordered or less messy by themselves. Physicists call the...
That's it right there.
That's it.
Things can't be more ordered by themselves. And this is someone at 19 who got the Nobel Prize in this whole thing, quantum theory, discussed. And basically the premise is that nothing can be organized by itself. Excuse me for pausing. I'm doing too many things at once. I'm talking and letting people in. Dr. Ian's joining us. But the major point there. So, Dr. George, what did you hear in that statement that was really important, that was really profound for you regarding that audio clip?
It reminds me of a short video I made. I had opened up a biology book some years ago. And there's a diagram, had a bunch of little circles randomly distributed, and it said these are amino acids. And they link together to form a peptide chain, and it's building blocks of protein. And what the description said is that it requires energy to go from the random state to an ordered state. And so I shared this idea with an 8-year-old child in the office one day. I said, imagine we took a bunch of building blocks and they're lying all around on the floor, and you just ran up and added energy by kicking them. What are the chances that would form a little house? And he looked at me, he's like, well, no. And so, of course, there has to be some sort of intelligence ordering this energy to create an uptick in order. Things can't become more ordered by themselves. It requires an intelligence, is what he's saying.
Right on. So this intelligence is the intention.
Right.
Oh, wow. That's really profound. Thank you for sharing that analogy.
That's universal intelligence.
Yes.
That's philosophy of chiropractic. Yeah.
Right on. Right on.
And
So that's how, when we talk about chiropractic, many people, when they hear that I'm a chiropractor, they grab their neck, they grab their back. Oh, my I have pain there. But that's what's been marketed to. That's where we
go like this.
Yeah. Yeah. George, show that image.
Whoa, yeah.
Show that drawing you showed me before we started that you made. If you have it handy right there. Where,
oh, yeah.
Yeah, right there. And is it basically this is what George is talking about? Give us the description
Here's
there.
your problem, right? There's your boo-boo, and here's what the medical doctor sees, and this is what the chiropractor sees. Which are we going to take care of, the spot or the whole thing?
So the point being is when we address the whole being, and this includes levels physical, levels biochemical, levels mental, emotional, and now we're really becoming fully aware of these non-physical layers of what it is to be a human, the field of the body. And as we take care of that, as well as the other levels, well, there we have wholeness. There we have returning, restoring to healing. Dr. Sasha, Dr. Vesna, anything you'd like to add to what we've been talking about so far? I know there's a lot to pick from.
I think it's been said, hasn't it?
Well, you talk.
No, I don't think I can.
We talked about, so in esoteric sciences, I'll say it that way, there's the concept of squaring the circle, meaning the amount of area inside the circle, if you have the right size compared to the proper square, you can get the same area inside that square. And that's akin to uniting heaven and earth in this analogy, which is where I think we showed it before, Vitruvian Man, Dr. George, did I say that correctly?
Yeah.
That's where we see the circle around the man has 4 arms, the legs are open, and then we see the square around them. And that's a geometric representation of what we're talking about here. And then, Sasha, you said you were looking up a quote.
That was when we were talking earlier. I can't remember how it happened.
But what was the quote you mentioned? Paraphrase it.
When when heaven comes down to earth, that will be hell for some people.
Right. So how does that apply in our conversation? Well, it's about waking up to different levels of our reality.
Yeah.
And when we are faced with information that essentially destroys something that we believe to be true, what we're actually recognizing is more of our authentic self, more of our reality. And in that, there's a haywire going on in the brain and the nervous system, and then in the haywire going on in the body. And something that we're going to do next on this call right now is then bring balance, facilitate the balance of that system. See, just like that audio clip I played a moment ago, we're going to be facilitating organization through a positive or through a direct intention, that intelligence. And with the technique here that we're using on Synergy Solutions, there is a way to get information to find out what to do first, what to do second, what part of the body, what part of the field, kind of like a combination lock to facilitate you in aligning towards really flowing with life. Flowing with your own life, because there's a part that you play, but it's also part of a collective that you are. Big mouthful today. Thank you everybody for tuning in. Kind of deep, kind of profound. Really enjoying our conversation. Dr. Ian, if you want to chime in and add something, you can put it into the chat, or you can unmute yourself. You have free reign to comment. And I want to say welcome. And we're going to be going into a discussion of our intention here in a moment. And when we talk about our intention, then we go about doing the process of doing this attunement, alignment, healing, if you would, when we work with having you, everyone at home, everyone here are connecting to a central, what's called a surrogate, a central place of holding that energy. And then we work with that to align it. Dr. Ian, I think I saw you unmute yourself. Is there anything you want to add today? Hey, hello. Good to see you.
Hey, I'm kind of new to Zoom and all that, so I don't know. I didn't know if I got kicked off for a second there, but everything stopped, so I figured I'd just leave it. Yeah, I'm in Clearwater, Florida. I'm happy to be here and enjoying it so far, and I'm ready to add positive intention.
Right on.
Thank you.
Well, we're excited to have you, and thank you for your contribution. It's always super enjoyable, and the other doctors will talk about this at the end, because we always do a debrief after we do the healing session, the KST work, and you're going to add a new layer to what we're offering people, and it's always a shift in what we experience here, the ones that have been tuning in or helping out for a while. So I'm excited to feel how what you bring to the table. So thank you. So let's shift those gears. Vest, I'm going to ask you to start. Talk about our intention for today, and what seems to be important for you. What seems to be important for the collective as a whole that we can focus on, that you say is important?
Yeah, what comes to me at the moment is really removing whatever it is blocking for this intelligence to work at its best.
Okay. So simply removing interference so the system, the individual can operate, can perform, can live at its best, at your best. Very good. And then Sasha is the rock here, keeping us grounded. Sasha, talk about, we set our intentions. I have a desire. I have this, I have that, we all have those things. However, what we're doing is we're connecting to something that has infinite intelligence. And so the use of the OD, talk a little about what we're doing at a ground floor.
Well, we're using a biofeedback technique to find out what the priorities are for the group, the people that are connected, and for us who are participating as well. We're just looking for priorities.
So let's define that word for everybody: priority. This is why I said the word the phrase combination lock earlier, because literally we're looking to remove the interference, release the interference, as I like to say. And there's an order. The first priority is the first number in the combination lock. And then there's potentially a second number. And we don't know the number exactly. We're getting feedback from this. It's dynamic. It's living.
Yeah.
And let's see here. Dr. George, thoughts about intentions for today?
Ooh, it's getting complicated here. Well, again, it's a variation on see the light, be the light, know that you are the light. And so my intention is help resolve some of the interference to experiencing that reality, whether it's physical healing or a mental awakening to a bigger reality than you had yesterday. Just get some of the crud out of the way.
Right on, beautiful. And Dr. Ian, thank you for joining us. I'll put you on the spot here. You maybe weren't sure exactly what we're going to talk about today, but intention. Talk about maybe what you use intention for your own clients in your own practice, something that would translate here.
Intention. Well, yeah, I think intention is important, isn't it? Your vision, your beliefs, your vision. People say they create your reality, and they definitely can stop your reality from getting better, or or they can get it. So intention is important. It's very important, isn't it? Your beliefs, your intention. What's it caused by? How do you get those? Was it caused by when you're brought up by your religion? Sort of, some might say programmed into you, and a lot of that stuff when you're young is very, very strong, very strong. So,
well, yes, we're really
it's good to put in something that is powerful for you, right? And that helps you. Yeah.
Right. So this is a very good point to everyone at home, whether you're watching it live or you're watching the replay, is to have your own intention. You have directions in your life, and your direction in life is important. And so my intention for today is that you connect with that wise heart that is within you, and that you connect essentially to your wholeness, and that you can deliver that out to the world as best as balanced for you, the individual. So that's my intention moving forward. So that being said, we're going to shift gears, and I'm feeling good about this. This is being broadcast to a number of different channels, and normally we stop the stream here and only broadcast it to the Synergy group. Though I'm feeling today it would be good to continue to help anyone who's tuning in at any time, and so this will be freely shared. And I think I feel really good about that today. So let's go ahead and move forward into that. And right on time. So this is really beautiful. And so Dr. Ian, I'm going to explain this for everybody. We each have a physical, or we have a mental image of what we call the surrogate. And the surrogate is the placeholder. And everyone who's connected here now or in the future or in the past, that once this healing is wanting to receive, wanting to align themselves, they are contained in this surrogate. And as the surrogate is like the patient in front of you, then we go about doing the process of using the OD, finding the priority, making the correction, and then checking in what needs to happen next. And with that being said, now is the time to do that. So everyone at home, go ahead and make sure, hopefully you're not driving and listening to this, but however, I like to suggest putting your feet on the ground, taking a few deep breaths, really getting to that place, because this is a self-loving action. This is something that's for your greatest good. This is something that is aligning you with your greatest version of yourself. And we're peeling those layers away, connecting us to things like Dr. George and Vesna we all talked about today. So let's go ahead and do that. And the doctors will begin at their leisure. And when the doctors are finished, just go ahead and give me the thumbs up, and then I'll know that we're all wrapped up on that level. And we'll go ahead and then go through the debrief and talk about what we found and any fun insights. So that being said, thank you. Let's go ahead and take a deep breath and go ahead and get started. Dr. George is just like firing away, and I'm feeling it rippling through me already. So let's go ahead. I'll turn up that right there, and we are ready to begin. Okay, docs, how we doing over there? Good, George?
Set.
Good. Okay.
Yeah.
Dr. Ian, great. Good. Okay, wonderful. So let me turn down the music for everybody at home. Wow, thank you very much. Definitely. Well, I want to hold my comments back and towards the end there. So, Dr. Ian, I'm gonna call on you to go first today. I'm gonna make you dive right in the deep end. And what did you find today when you were doing the checks, and any insights that you have?
Thanks. A couple, I just go by what you said. Like this is my first time here, so on the surrogate, right? That's who we're. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Too spiritual. I hope you can hear me all right.
You're doing great, loud and clear.
Great, awesome, excellent. Just sacrum and sternum, which very powerful, emotionally centered things and related to spiritual is what I found.
Wow, beautiful. Well, thank you for that.
Yep.
Yeah. And Vesna, what did you find today?
Mainly emotional stuff to do actually with blocked emotions within. And bilateral TMJ joints. That's
So when you say emotion, blocked emotion, meaning the inability to express. So now people will be expressing differently.
And feel.
And feel differently. And I love that you have the jaw there. It's like, now we can open up and talk finally. And it's very interesting. It aligns very much with Dr. Ian's findings. Now, I oftentimes find the sternum and sacrum are integral in people's work. It's I wonder what that connection is, but very beautiful. Thank you, both of you. Sasha, what did you notice today?
Well, fancy that. I got. Honestly, I'm not making it up. I got a priority for emotion, and then I thought I'd try and hone it a bit, and it was just negative emotion. So the clearance for it was right sphenoid for me.
Beautiful.
So I just did right sphenoid, and it cleared, but it's still processing. And when I asked, can I speed it up? And it said, no, can't speed it up, leave it alone. It'll take 4 days.
Wow.
4 days.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's what I got. But it's weird, isn't it, with the emotion thing? That's really weird.
It's very beautiful, and it gets me thinking, gets my gears turning on a lot of factors that I personally look at as far as what causes people to do things at certain times, whether internal forces or external forces. And I'm really wanting to check in on the cosmic alignments and how that plays a role in people's consciousness, and what's showing up today in the world and news and politics. And of course, it's a hot topic. So that being said, there is a lot of emotions that are seemingly being dealt with. And in my personal opinion, part of what 2020 is all about is a new wave of understanding how to be human, and how to interact with humanity.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Dr. George, what did you notice today?
Well, some of the usual stuff. I started with right kidney. That usually gets me in. So the 4 hollow organs: large intestine, small intestine, gallbladder, and appendix, all in one piece. And then I got gonads, male and female. So that's unusual. Bladder from the right side, right lateral ventricle and brain, and right sacroiliac, and then download. So I keep getting the hollow organs, but gonads this time.
Interesting. Well, I can only theorize at this point. So let's, with that being said, there's a lot of emotion in that world, and think about the communication network that's in the body. We talked about it briefly earlier. I said the neuroendocrine system, and that's part of the communication network, is how some of those hormones are formed. And emotions go wild when those as far as when somebody when a child turns 11, 12, 13, things are turning on, new emotions. How to say that? Well,
we were talking about creation earlier, right? And so that's how we create and recreate through the gonads. Maybe we're going to recreate a new world.
Well, and speaking of second chakra, that's the creative zone of energy. And I look at it, whether it's artwork or building a house, or making larger families, all included in that creation process. And very, very beautifully, I found some left sacrum, and I got something off the body in the back to the right aortic field. But what was most profound for me was straight downward, essentially facilitating the 7th chakra connection from spirit to the physical, from non-physical to physical, and then a C1 on the left. And to me, that's just very, very profound about what we've been talking about. We're having this influx, perhaps, of this higher realm energy coming in, and we're learning to operate in new levels. Not so much the reptilian brain. I'll say that.
Powerful stuff. Yeah.
It was powerful. Thank you. Yeah. So thank you. Thank you for. There's a comment. Thank you, everyone. This is for everybody. Thank you. The energy in the group is being loved by others. So thank you for commenting, Tina. Appreciate that. So I don't know about anybody else, but every time I'm in this session, I feel like there's imagine in a pool, someone making a cannonball and the wave being felt other places in the pool. And it's like, as soon as Dr. George starts, I'm feeling it in my system. And if anyone at home wants to comment about what they've noticed, that would be great. I love seeing that feedback. And with that being said, I'm going to drop the link to the group for anyone who wants access on. Go ahead, Dr. Ian.
Can I make one more comment? You talked briefly about the politics of this year and stuff. And one thing that's been powerful for me and sharing with a lot of people is like serenity prayer. Just there's the things I can control and the things I can't control. People get entrenched in one way of looking at politics, especially in the United States. But there's a lot that you kind of just have to leave to. I can't control it. Let's not let it run my life or affect my life too much, because hey, like a lot of things in life, there's a lot that we just we have to sort of just let it go and say, it'll work out for the best, or yeah.
Well, I agree with you. It's like arguing over the weather, trying to control the weather, and nonetheless, there may be a time and a place in a local setting that if it's right for the individual to make a statement, make a comment, share something with somebody, though trying to shift everything and getting emotionally out of balance with it is a waste of energy. And Dr. Ian, exactly right. So the Serenity Now prayer, what a great recommendation. And for everyone who got value out of today, you can help contribute. You can be part of this on a weekly basis. Go to the link I just dropped it, synergysolutionsessions.com. And I want to thank everybody for your participation today. I will be dropping that video into the private group. And Dr. Ian, hang on for a minute. We'll chat at the end, and we'll just connect. So thank you, everybody, for tuning in. I'm Dr. Kevin. These are all the docs. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
We'll see you next Wednesday
you.
at 12 noon.
Yeah.
Bye.